Hello, hello, hello. So I've made some decisions. And remember the drinking game, every time I say or so, you take a shot. I'm kidding, I'm not advocating getting drunk, because you will be. So she says it again. I artificially intelligence used to print my pictures for these, and this was the one I wanted for Samhain, lovely blues. When I printed it out larger, it came out purple. The headers were supposed to be navy blue, they're not, they're grey. So I'm getting rid. I'm not doing these. I don't know where half of these bits are. Yeah, I'm not keeping any of these. I might use the pictures that did turn out well. But yeah, so this, I'm going to have to redo all of these. But that's okay, because I get all this spare paper. So back to the folios. So first folio, I've decided I'm going to have a flap here and a pocket here and a pocket here. That's all there is to it. So I have to make, oh dear, to make the pockets I'm using my scraps, and I will do the pockets quick. Hello Cinnamon. Thank you. It's very late at night. I decided I wanted to craft at night. Okay, for the smaller pocket, I measured from, so the signatures here have 3 score lines. So I measured from the absolute last score line to the edge and added 1/2 inch. And I do believe it's 3 3/4 inches in height. So I'm just going to score at 5 1/4. I can't do it that way. I'm going to have to do it this way. There we go. So I'm just scoring at 1/4 inch each side. I should do that to all 4 pockets. Right. This is a full 8 1/2 inch sheet. I am going to basically measure it from the very edge of the fold down to just before. So I don't want it too much. So how wide is that? That is, I think it was 7 1/4. So I'm going to do these at 7 inches. My ruler was wrong, around the wrong way, wasn't it? It's not 7, it's 5. So you put my ruler, yeah. But I'm going to do 2 at 5 inches. I'm going to mitre my edges just on that little flap. And whilst I'm mitering, I will mitre all these little edges as well. So I am not going to use tape for these. I'm going to use just glue. Right. After mitering, burnish. These are 2 3/4, by the way. Like I said, they were just offcuts. Okay, figure out which is the front cover. I want these at the top, so this is my front cover. I'm first going to put on this. These side bits I am going to put a little bit of tape on, not a huge amount. And then place it on. Got a tiny bit of overhang there, so when that's dry, I'm going to trim that off. I'm going to do the same to the back cover. Next, it's time for the pockets, and so I'm just checking what my plan is. I'm going to put these here up to, but not covering, the score line. Right, glue on each of the little wings there, so they're only tiny, but hopefully they'll be fine. Because I'm using just scraps, so I'm taking what I've got. Okay, up to there. That's good. So now I've got the pocket here, opening here. And now for this one. Okay, I'm going to leave that one to dry and then go on to this side. Okay, that is very simply going to be the first folio. So flap, pocket this side, and pocket on the front of your cover here. I'm going to decorate afterwards, which is why I've done the flaps each side, so I can get pattern paper in. But that is the first one done. I'll come back for the second one in a minute. Right, I'm here for the next one. This one I'm hoping should be quite easy. I think I've got it figured out. So you need 4 pieces that are 3 1/8, and these are these sizes because these were my offcuts. So 3 at 3 1/8, no, 4 at 3 1/8, and 4 at 2 7/8. And I'm going to score these. So the 2 7/8, and these are obviously 8 1/4. So on the 2 7/8 side, I am going to score at 2 5/8 on all of the 2 7/8 pieces. I've got to try and figure out which ones are which. Okay. And that's for all of these. Once again, like I said, these are offcuts and bits that I've had lying around. So the there's not much to work with, but it should work out okay. Okay. On the next ones, which are 3 1/8, on one of them, no, on 2 of them, score at 2 7/8, and on the other side at 1/4, or if you can't do that, do 2 7/8 again. So that's 2 7/8 on both sides. 2 7/8 once, 2 7/8 twice. So I've just turned it round because I can't get my hand over this side. Okay, on the remaining 2 pieces, which are 3 1/8, you score at 2 5/8. Yes, that's that bit done. Next, fold the lines, all your score lines, fold them and burnish them. Right, next separate them out into piles. So 2 each with the 1 small score line, and then 2 piles which include 1 with the 2 score lines and 1 with the large score line in each pile. Next, you want to glue these together with, so you put glue along this edge, glue along this edge, and then we're going to glue them together with a little bit of line of glue at the bottom as well. I am going to mitre all my edges. Right, now I'm going to get these 2 pockets stuck together. Glasses on. Okay, you could use tape, use anything that you find easiest. Because these are so small, I'm hoping I'm going to find it easier with glue. So I've gone down that one, across that one rather, and then this side. And now I'm going to put them together. This flap's on this side, but on the inside, and this flap is on that side sticking up. Give this a quick burnish to squeeze that glue out. And then if you want to, in your open end, you can punch out a I'm getting there. Punch out a small notch so that you can see, because this is basically a long pocket. So you want to do that to these 2. Same for both of these. For the next two pockets, which is using these ones, so, and these are both going to be the same. For the long side, let me miter these edges quick. Tuck the flap, the one with the large flap, tuck the large flap under. Now this one, it's going to matter when you do each of them because you want to do them opposite. So on one of them, I suggest you do one first. You want to add glue to both sides and along the bottom edge, and this one I'm having the folded under flap on the right and the glue at the bottom of that. So I've got the shakes terrible today. Don't know why. Too much coffee. Right, so this one should be open at the top here. So my under flap is on the right, my opening's at the top. I've got this one here. I've got my opening. It's the first pocket that we made with no flap. And all I'm going to do is miter this edge. The pocket with no flap, with the opening at the top of the book, I am placing on here, and the one with the opening at the top and the flap on the right, I am placing here, and it should just fit in the gap nicely. Now when it comes to making the pockets for this side, obviously the pocket with no flaps is going on this side, so when you make up this pocket, the flap has to be on the left hand side with the opening at the top, and then they can go on that way. So I'm going to do that, but first of all, before I pop these in, I'm going to cut a notch out on each side. Right, I've got my punch, and all I want to do is cut a tiny little, I don't want a big notch, I only want a tiny little one, and I'm just eyeballing it like that. That's all I need. This is the top of this one, eyeball it, there we go. You could have it just one side if you wanted, do the notches before you stick them together. Right, I'm going to make the other side, and then I'll be back to show you what it looks like put together. Right, here are the two pockets, and of course I will have something in the top. This is the front pocket, and mine do overlap slightly. I could have thought a bit more carefully about that, I suppose, when I was using it and had a bit more gap, but I don't mind actually. My only decision now is, do I put a pocket in here? let's do a pocket. Okay, so for each one I'm going to need, these are the ones that are 2 7/8, I do believe. Yeah, 2 7/8, and I've just scored, I just folded it in half, and I'm just going to cut so it's 1.5 minus a 16th. Because if you want me to try and work that out, you've got another thing coming. So for each folio I'm going to do 2 of those. That's not exactly half, is it? No, it's not. Oh, and it's a bit dodgy. Let's have a look. Right, I'm going to do these at 1 3/8 because I can't be bothered to. So I want 2 at 1 3/8 and 2 at whatever these are, just under 2 7/8. The pocket width is from side to side. Where is my? Is going to be I'm going to say 5 because obviously I want to go inside. So these, if I do these at 6, right, I'm going to cut these at 6. Score them each at 1/2 inch on either side on the long side, so they're at 6. So I want score it at 5.5 on all of them. Turn. So you're scoring at 1/2 inch and 5.5 inches. Okay. Inside of the pocket, all I'm going to do is take the larger pocket, and this will be exactly the same for both the front and the back. Mitre. You want one of the long ones. The short ones I'm only going to mitre on one side. Right, grab my glue. Glue along the bottom edge there. And then line up between the score lines so that that one can close, that one can close. That's good. There will be a slight gap each side, but it shouldn't matter too much because when you put down your patterned paper, you're going to have it in sort of like 1/8 of an inch each side, so you just have to remember to fill the pocket. This one I'm putting flat edge down up against, straight onto the top, so I'm lining up this pocket. I don't suppose you need to knot mitre bottom bits, but I don't know, so I didn't mitre the bottom part of these, and this is going to go straight on top of that one. So it looks like you've got a double pocket when in fact it's just a pocket with a belly band really. But then you can put something in the top here down and something in this one down. So I'm going to do the same to the back, and that's folio number 2 finished. On to folio number 3.